My dad and stepmom realized they had 1 year left to force me to share my late mom's inheritance with their kids, and they made my life hell. Hello Reddit I plus here. It started on my 21st birthday, a day that was supposed to be special, but instead marked the beginning of a nightmare. My mom had passed away when I was 14, leaving behind a savings account that was to become mine when I turned 22. Until then, it was held in a trust, protected by strict conditions that even my dad couldn't touch. Dad remarried 2 years after Mom died, to Linda, a woman with 2 kids from a previous marriage. For a while, things were fine. Linda was cordial, her kids were polite, and we all managed to coexist without major drama. But things changed when my trust fund came up in casual conversation at dinner one night. "So, how much is in that fund again?" Linda asked, her fork pausing mid-air. "Enough," I said, already feeling uneasy. From that moment on, the vibe in the house shifted. A few weeks later, Dad sat me down with Linda. They insisted I should do the right thing and split the money with Linda's kids. "It's only fair," Linda said with a forced smile. "We're a family now." I reminded them that the money was from my mom and meant for my future. That's when the guilt trips began. "You're so selfish," Dad said one night, his voice low but sharp. "You have no idea how much I've sacrificed for you." At first, their attempts to manipulate me were subtle. Linda started forgetting to save dinner for me, leaving me to fend for myself after late shifts at work. Her kids, who used to be friendly, suddenly became distant, whispering and snickering whenever I walked by. Then it got worse. They started putting locks on the fridge, claiming I wasn't contributing enough to the household expenses. My bedroom was suddenly needed for storage, and they crammed all my belongings into a tiny corner of the garage. "You're lucky we're letting you stay here rent-free," Linda would say. By month 3, I felt like a stranger in my own home. But I held my ground, refusing to sign over even a penny of my mom's money. That's when they escalated to full-blown sabotage. One morning, I woke up to find my car missing. Dad had sold it, claiming I owed him for all the years he'd provided for me. When I protested, he shrugged. "Use the bus. Builds character." They even went as far as to call my college, pretending to be me, and tried to cancel my enrollment. Thankfully, the school flagged the suspicious activity, and I was able to sort it out. By the final month of their countdown, I was barely holding on. I'd secretly started couch surfing at friends' places to escape the hostile environment. But I knew I couldn't leave completely, not until I secured the trust fund. The day I turned 22, I went to the bank with my mom's lawyer, who had been overseeing the trust. Linda and Dad had somehow found out and showed up at the bank, causing a scene. "She's stealing from her family," Linda shrieked, while Dad played the victim, accusing me of being an ungrateful daughter. But the bank manager calmly handed me the paperwork, confirming the transfer of funds into my account. The look on their faces when I walked out with my financial independence was priceless. I moved out that same week, cutting off contact entirely. A few months later, I heard through mutual acquaintances that Linda and Dad were struggling financially. They'd banked on me caving, and when I didn't, they lost the leverage they thought they had. As for me, I used the money to finish college, buy my first home, and start a small business. My mom's legacy gave me the freedom and stability to build a life on my own terms, one they could never take away. Looking back, it was a tough year, but it taught me an invaluable lesson. Family isn't defined by blood or marriage. It's defined by the people who genuinely care about you, and sometimes the best way to protect yourself is to walk away.